Alright, good morning everyone. So today is a little bit different video from my normal dirt bikes and stuff like that. I guess today I want to teach you guys how to run an excavator if you've never run one before. So I guess let's just start with the basics. Got the key in your hand. Locate your ignition switch. Put it in. Turn the key. You start the machine. You have most of your controls here. This is a John Deere 160. You got your controls here for everything from AC, radio, things like that, to your throttle. I usually run excavators full throttle. You know, not everybody does. Just me personally, I think they operate a lot smoother, a lot quicker, and you really get the full potential out of the machine when you run it like that. So let's start. On your left-hand side, you're gonna have right here your lever. That's to activate your hydraulics. Lift it up, hydraulics don't do anything. Lower it down, hydraulics are functional. So first things first, this excavator is set up, you know, in the regular, you know, excavator pattern, and basically, just to give you an overview, what all the controls does. On your left hand, you pull the joystick to the right, you go to the right. Pull your joystick to the left, you go to the left, right? So go back to the right, back to the left, right? So then you have, those are two functions on your left hand. You have a total of 4 functions on each lever. So when you pull those stick towards you, you pull the dipper in. When you pull it out, you push the dipper out. Conversely, on your right hand, right, if you go to the left, you're curling the bucket in. You go to the right, you curl the bucket out. You pull it back, your arm goes up. Push it forward, your arm goes down. Alright, so those are the basic functions on an excavator. So then you have your controls for your tracks. At first, you know, until you get used to it, you know, it's easier just to move the machine with your, you know, with your hands, right? But these also have pedals. You can do the same thing. You can track the machine whichever direction you need to go with the pedals. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to dig for a little bit, so you guys can kind of see, you know, how it works. On this project, what we're doing is this is a wetlands restoration project. So long story short is I pretty much got to dig to right around the water table, and I'm using the existing water table as my guide, and I got to remove all this layer of organic material. I'm basically making a windrow, which you see right here. This is a windrow of material that's been excavated, and this material, what we're going to do with it is we're going to haul it off. So I'm going to get to work so you guys can see what we're doing here. Normally I am not an excavator operator, as you can probably tell. The main machine that I operate is I usually run dozers. But, you know, it's like everything in life, you gotta be able to do a little bit of everything. Because there's not dozer work every single solitary day for me. Another video I'm probably going to do pretty soon is how to dig around utilities, and you know, how to excavate when you're digging around utilities. You know, everything's got its own little way. You're not just going ham and just sticking a bucket in the ground and pulling out whatever you can find. tried to get me to do this job with a dozer, but unfortunately the material and the ground conditions are just not conducive. And I kind of buried the dozer. I'll put some pictures of that little excavate as well. Start practicing once you get is how to dig and hold grade. It's probably one of the most important things you can learn on an excavator. Now this video is pretty much intended for people that are either probably rented a machine and have never ran an excavator before in their lives, or you're a laborer at a company, and obviously, I've been there. I've worked as a fitter for this company, and being in the trench sucks. It's hard work, it's tiring, and nobody wants to spend the rest of their life in the trench. Everybody, wants to get behind the seat of the excavator or any other machine and sit in the AC and work. Now, I'm not saying that this is easy work, because you get real tired. It's just a different type of work. One of the things that I suggest everybody practices, if you're on a job site or on your own property, you rented an excavator, you're at a farm, one of the best things to practice without digging, just right on top of your material, is practice pulling your hydraulics back and holding grade, just barely touching the dirt on top. Just practice that. Once you get proficient at that, when you're digging, you're able to dig a lot flatter. Or conversely, if you gotta dig with a slope or anything like that, it becomes easier, because it becomes second nature to hold grade. And it's like everything, practice makes perfect. planning on doing is just pull the material back towards me. I'm not gonna get any full buckets. I don't know if the camera angle can see it, but right here, pretty much it's soft. And if I grab a bucket, I'm just gonna sink into the abyss. This area right here, according to the plans, used to be a canal in the 1950s, and they literally backfilled it with just muck. Tidbit of information here. Apparently this area here had a canal. Like I said, it was backfilled with muck in the 1960s. And way back in the day, there was actually a missile silo here that has been backfilled as well, presumably with the same junky material. Now, normally I don't like pulling material like this towards so close to the machine. One, it gets the machine filthy, and it's just not good practice. But in this situation, I'd rather blast this thing with a fire hose for